Well, as the graphic says, the beef is back, and welcome back to the Beef and Barnzy show. As he doesn't really look anything like Lucas, but he did get to lead the life for a few weeks. I'm jealous, to be honest, and but it is nonetheless good to have you back.
Thanks, Chris. It almost sounds heartfelt.
It's close. I mean,
you've been carrying the load for us. It's been a minute. I've been to Disneyland and then Aruba, and I am done with that and ready to get back on track. If you're not a beach person, don't go to Aruba. If you are a beach person, the beaches are unbelievably beautiful. The sea is incredibly clear, and the temperature's not too bad. So that's my travel guide. So we had some breaking news last night. Oh, look at this, Tina. We could start going on family vacays together.
I can't afford it. I don't know.
We had breaking news last night. Chris beat Alan Riley in league.
Yeah. The kryptonite's over.
Yeah, just 1 second. Let me see if I can get this. Let's see if this will actually work. This is what happens when you decide to do stuff on the fly. Oh, no, it won't work. All right. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Chris shot 300 last night. I from the video I saw, it was the Zen. Would that be correct?
It was the Zen.
You were pretty far left when I saw it.
We were on the end pair, and 32 has hooked 4 to 5 more than 31 since, I don't know. I mean,
forever.
Since Barry Asher didn't have wrinkles, I think probably so.
So there you go, poor Barry Asher. So that was that. So that was the so that was your league experience last night. I shot my regulation 777 last night through 3 pretty bad shots. I had the front 8 and a 2-8, and I had like the front 6 and I bucketed. The last couple of games, I used the new the hyped hybrid. That's going to be one that's going to take a minute to get off the tongue. Hyped hybrid. It's very pink, so I use that. It looks like from initial looks, it's going to be a little bit of a step up from the burners. I've been using the burner solid. It's obviously a little more angular off the spot, but I think it's a little stronger overall, which sort of makes sense given the lines that they're in.
That's a mid-price point?
It's HP2, so lower, just above the low-end balls, I guess, for want of a better description. I also drilled the Trend 2. I didn't get many shots with it because the hyped looked better for going straighter. I might get a chance with it tonight, though, although it's going to take a little bit for me to put down the code, the dark code, which is the current magic ball over at Mel's. But Dave says, how many 300s do each of you guys have? I would say we've probably got north of 250 between us.
Yeah. Kind of lost track after a while. I stopped keeping track after I was about 25 or so. But
and you don't have your brother filming and documenting everyone like Adam?
No. I would venture, I guess, in the 125, 130 range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that I'm yeah. I'm more of a dedicated league baller than Chris. I might be a bit north of that.
Probably.
So yeah. Here's our new sponsor, Mr. Franklin. True Grit Coatings. We have a commercial that will run in a couple of minutes. If you're looking for floor coverings, he's your man in the Florida area. They do epoxy floors. Wish he was in the Texas area because I'd have plenty of business for him. My garage definitely needs a bit of a makeover. Yeah, that's a good call, Casey. I would say that's definitely in that benchmark type of reaction for the RSTX1.
I have thrown the Electrify Solid. I find it to be pretty smooth. That's kind of a drier lane control type ball.
I think that the Electrify Solid's quite comparable with the Burner Solid.
Okay.
From what I've seen, I think that the Electrify Solid might be a little less angular, but maybe a hair stronger overall. But I wouldn't carry both. Would be my breakdown of that. I think that they're in very similar ballpark, and it's not necessarily a gap that we use a ton. So,
yeah, you have to bowl someplace that had quite a bit of friction for that to be the.
Yeah, I really like. I found the Burner Solid to be really useful for me in bowling down at Highland. Highland's one of the most amazing house shots I've bowled on. If you do the thing that it wants you to do, they're unbelievably easy. If you don't want to do that, you can't strike. It's pretty much that simple. If you use a weaker ball and you go straighter, you strike for days. If you try to throw it away from it, it just says, nope, not today. 625 coming your way. He says he'll come out there. There we go. You want to be careful. I might take you up on that. I guess he's quite keen to come out because he can charge me a out of town fee. Oh, suck
boy,
it,
get him! Yes, yeah. We can look at the board. This is a message to all you Alabama fans, evidently. So, yeah.
Oh, look at this. Bang, bang. After watching y'all's RST podcast, I had Colin Champion drilling me over at the Hall of Fame Pro Shop, drill one. He shot 59, 89, 300 last night. So there you go. He shat all over our scores, Chris.
Boom.
So without further ado, let's run the commercial from our new sponsor, True Grit. Here we go.
Wow.
So there we go. We thank them for coming on board. And like I say, if you're in the in the Tampa area, give them a call and say that Beef and Barnzy sent you. Isn't that the Mike Scroggins line? You all go to Denny, say Mike Scroggins sent you.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was party at Scroggy's house, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what.
Because of course Texas are playing OU this weekend. It says board change. OU still sucks. We could use that one on Thursday.
Yeah, it'll still be there. Yeah.
Still time. How about them Cowboys? How about not?
Yeah, nobody's a bigger believer in the hype of them than people here. It's yeah. You managed to beat a good team that didn't have the best running back in the NFL. Wow, what a great defense.
What is your go-to mid-range ball based on brands? Idle. I mean, it's really difficult because I don't really look at balls as mid-range and whatever. Like,
Yeah, I break them into categories, and I guess I mean, although relatively strong, Zen Master and Zen are my middle balls because I have reality and some super strong ball. You know, a couple of strong balls up ahead of it, but even those are pretty big on the performance scale for, I guess, mid range.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I like the hustles and the burners. I like both of those. If they qualify into this gap that you're talking about, hustle camo has been doing quite well for me, and I like the burner solid. I haven't really drilled the burner pearl, but like for me, I like the solid balls, the shiny solid balls in that kind of weaker balls, because I feel like they're more likely to pick up in the oil and less likely to be over bouncy on the dry. And I feel like I can get the ball up the lane pretty good most of the time anyway. So I kind of like the control that the solid balls give me in that range. Right. Fun times. We finished the bracket. Woo! Only I looked it up. I was kind of embarrassed because people entered in March. Yeah, been a minute. Yeah, it actually the spreadsheet said March Madness bracket. We're in October, but we do have winners. So let me just share the screen with the people. So here are all the people. There was 36 of you who got it right. Yeah, 36 because 37. So I will now pull up a random number generator. I wonder if it'll let me. Oh, it won't let me. All right, I'm going to have to stop sharing that, and I'm going to have to share this, and then we'll go back. Chrome tab. Random number generator. So I need to go 2 through 37. How many times are we pressing it, Chris?
3 times.
3 times. So 1, 2, 3. 16. 16's your winner. So let's see who 16 was. The answer's Rodney Johnson. I will pull that up just so everybody knows that I'm not picking somebody I know. Rodney, I hope you live in the States. Let's see. So, of course, it was 16, which is actually the 17th row. No,
you did 2 through 17.
Sorry, Rodney. I screwed you. 16th is Kathy Rainey. Kathy Rainey, you are the winner. I will be in touch via email to get the weight of your UFO alert that we will have sent over to you. So, sorry, Rodney. I kind of screwed you there, but the winner is Kathy Rainey. So congratulations on that. We have one more, though, to give away. We have the 300 game award. Let me just make these a little bigger. So there's our 4 people who picked, and I'm going to do this one 2 through 5. And this one's going to be, I'm going to do this on the first one. So whichever the first one is. So let's see. Share screen, Chrome tab. 3 through 5. 2 through 5. Generate. 4. So whoever number 4 is, you just won yourself a bowling ball. I'm not going to make that a hustle. It can be anything you want. So let's
show who it was again.
Quickly. Number 4, Brian Witt. So I will be in touch with you, Brian. So Brian and Kathy, congratulations. Let me quickly go in and highlight the row so I know who I'm giving the prizes to, because I know that I'm stupid and I'll forget. So they were the winners. We do actually have another giveaway, but I don't quite understand how I'm going to do it yet, because it was for the I guess the comments have died for me. No, there we go. It was for the sharing the product showcase, and I can't figure out getting all of the people who shared it. So I will. Don't worry, I'm not going to screw you. I'm not going to say share it and I'll give a ball away, and I'm not going to. I'll have an answer by Thursday.
Keith Lesko, when we're going to bring back Tuesday pot games. He thinks it's good practice in both practicing with good players and losing money to me. Which,
yeah. Sean Lavery says, can we talk about Chris's awesome 300 game last night? Hashtag house bowler. I heard there was a Brooklyn involved as well.
There was.
Your number 2 fan behind your mom.
Yeah, otherwise it was a fairly good game, and then Louisville popped back up again.
Yeah, what'd you finish with set?
I had 720, and I had 300. I had spare 3-bagger, and I finished with strikes in 6 through 10.
So he had 100, 120, and then you had 160 over in those frames. What did you finish with set?
Yeah, it was another 60 over there, and I had 726 or something. Yeah.
So you had about 30 under for the middle 10 or 12
frames. I did. I split.
Boy.
Yeah, I wasn't alone. Not that makes it anyway okay, but yeah, we shot like 1240, 1080 the second game, and then we improved again a little bit. But I won the last high game pot with 220. So we didn't improve by that much the last game.
Well, just for reference, on if you can break them down a little better, I had 265 last night. That wasn't good enough to win the eliminator in my league. So yeah.
Yeah, you can see that was game 1, and I was playing 18, 19 in game 1, and not really throwing it slow. And so yeah, we were short stepping in front of the widest ball returns that AMF could come up with.
Yeah, that's a fun time for sure. The your wife asked the question that all of the keen viewers want to know. I think I can answer this, Linda, because we haven't seen Alan in the chat. And there's no chance that he was sporting his Beef and Barnzy shirt last night. I've actually notified the winners of that as well. I'm going to try and get the shirts out this week to those guys who got all of the correct words and got them back to us in time. We actually had surprisingly more people answer than we had winners. Sorry, than we had prizes. So that was good. Appreciate it. Thanks for following along. If you missed the show with Charlie Tapp, I uploaded that this morning. I'm trying. I had a message from a guy who said he wants me to upload the faster to YouTube. So, of course, I then took a week to upload one of last week's episodes. So that was good. But I will try and get those out a little bit better. We will obviously go on the Weber Cup over the weekend. So I'm not sure what the schedule will look like next week, but we will be trying to put up some content from there. I'm not sure how much I'm going to chat to Chris because, fuck him. But yeah. Nice set, Dell. Coming back from some health issues, and he's been popping them off. Always good person to have a cross doubles with at the trio. Dell always finds a way, usually early on, to Houdini a 230 game with his 40 pins. So yeah. But yeah, we have the product showcase coming later in the month. We have got to figure out the timings of that. I'm going to continue my magical mystery tour because I'm going to be going to Phoenix, going back to the OG. So I will be able to do stuff from there because I'm going to be there for a week. So that should be good. Congrats, Charlie. You were one of the winners, I believe. And he says swords are drawn. Wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Fists, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess
we want pain. We don't necessarily want death at the end of this. So, yeah.
What's your prediction for this fight? Pain. I don't pity Balboa. I hate the fool. I don't hate Balboa. I pity the fool. Yeah. Big Smooth is asking a question here. He says, I want to see what you guys compare the X2 to the Zen. It seems like the Zen is just constantly reading the lane in a very unique shape and pretty continuous. I would say that that's a pretty good synopsis. I think that the Zen does pretty much read on pretty much most conditions, and it is quite rounded considering it's a Pearl Ball. The X2 is probably the polar opposite of that. It's super clean and definitely needs a little bit of friction to kind of see it, I think.
Yeah, I think that and with the Eagles. Caw.
Dusty says, just for that comment, go USA. Come on, Stu. You should talk to Barnzy and try and talk trash and get him off his game. Barnes is the one I'm worried about. He's just an additional problem. He's not the problem.
There's lower hanging fruit in Stu's mind that he can.
I mean, I even made suggestions for Chris to get back on track. I was, yeah. That was a true team player. I've got Don will shout at me. I've got to get back on Team Europe, not Team Beef and Barnzy.
I am feeling a little better about it than I was a month and a half ago. That's for sure.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I knew.
Fucking awesome. Just sandwiches and tea cakes.
Zen needs some friction for me. Huh.
Ooh, looked like I was drunk there. I guess you just might need a little bit of surface.
Yeah, I may need to clean it up just a touch. But for the most part, that's some. Well, and occasionally they actually, you lose a little bit of polish off of them, and they start to burn up a little bit.
How about them Bills? Man, the Bills are the flat track bullies, beat up all the shit teams. Let's see if they can take down the Chiefs.
Yeah, they'll find out. They'll still be playing a terrible defense, but now the other team can score too, so it may be a little bit different.
How can we watch the Weber Cup? You have to sign up for DAZN for a month. It is $20. It's an online streaming service.
DAZN, I believe, is the call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might have some boxing fights on in that month. So, but that's the way to watch it over here on DAZN, DAZN.
Yeah, it's run a little bit like Flow with lots of extra sports and those kind of things. The difference is, I think, you will have top-notch broadcasting and angles. I mean, with one lane, obviously, the challenges that arise from covering PBA events will not be there. So,
yeah,
you'll get the live feed that basically will be on Sky Sports, the sports station over there. You'll get that on DAZN. So, and all the live commentary go along with it.
The first, there's 4 sessions. 3 of the 4 are going to start at 6 p.m., I believe, in the UK, which is about noon Central Time.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea who's in the booth this year? No, but I hope Camo's back because he always says nice things about me.
Yeah, I hope he is too. Actually, he wasn't last year because of the travel.
Yeah, he just couldn't. It was how long he had to quarantine at home was the problem, I believe.
Yeah.
And with all of the things he had, he wasn't really prepared to spend 2 weeks in a hotel room.
Right.
Casey says, hit at 2,000, wiggles a lot, drill forces for I would say that that's probably burning up then, if you're seeing it wiggle a lot. From my experience, unless your rev rate is really low. I think that's more likely is what's happening. But obviously, without seeing you, being with you, knowing where you're bowling, what you're bowling on, etc., it's hard to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in there.
But that would be my hypothesis.
Cass Edwards will not be in the booth. He's not done it the
He's
last 2 years.
retired.
Yeah. So not by their choice, by his. He was done doing it. So
yeah. Dave says, Doug says Casey's rev rate isn't that low, then I would lean towards it burning up more than anything else.
Yeah, we've seen that a little bit every once. So especially some of these, if you're a place that runs terrain in particular, it actually does make that particular ball not look so special because it does bleed out a lot. Easily my least favorite oil that I bowled on in I can't even tell you when.
Yeah, I was disappointed we couldn't get any in for the Weber Cup.
You what?
I was disappointed we couldn't get any in for the Weber Cup.
Well, I've seen you guys on it too, so I was okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been good for me.
Maybe.
I mean, I bowl on it every day, so.
Well, the house shot at Planet, where the regional was last weekend, was actually quite good. Although I was the only person playing left to third arrow, and I still had to move like 4 boards in 3 games of.
Well, that's mean. I would like to see Stu leave the leave a 5-7-10 instead of Chris this time. It's been a while since Chris left the 5-7-10.
And it was not at the Weber Cup either. Yeah, that's been, I don't know, what, 12 years ago? 13,
15,
14
maybe.
years ago? Who knows?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Half the people in that tournament have retired.
Yeah.
Probably more than half, in fact, don't bowl anymore. So
I was throwing a Momentum. That's how long ago that was.
Or Power Swing, because that's what you threw on everything.
No, Momentum. That was 2008. That's how long ago that was.
Yeah. So I guess you haven't drilled any of your balls because you don't like drilling balls, but you've got them sitting in your.
They showed up, but I wasn't on vacation. I was bowling. I was working, and so
okay.
And then I didn't do anything yesterday. But yeah. I wasn't actually sure if we could throw those yet, but I guess we can because that's.
You could just watch the baby. You don't have to watch the first bit. The baby makes the video.
Yeah,
that has to be the funniest video on the internet with that baby laughing. If I ever have a bad day, I'll pull it up. It's just the baby laughing.
Yeah, working. Yeah,
well, it did look like you worked. You worked your ass off to get up to 5th.
I quit. This terrain is the worst oil I've ever bowled on in my whole life, and so when I threw a burner and from my hand position like this, frame 1 of game 1, because that was the one ball that would still hook down lane. After 13 games of that, and I survived and got in. I took a fast pitch and I went up to 8, and I went, well, the left-handers keep throwing it out there and beating us every week. It can't be that hard, and it wasn't. So.
Oh my god!
I won a bad pair early, and then I basically had the high block, but I didn't have any big games because it still hit like urethane on 43 feet. But just kept shooting 220, 230, and the low end was really bad, and the high end was pretty good. And so early I was kind of buried, and then I got to bowl up on the high end for a while, and the good bowlers got to go bowl on the low end for a while. And so I was making them up 60 pins at a whack over there. And so, yeah, I mean, I won the one-handed tournament, which is pretty par for terrain. And it was okay. I came up with some new slogans for terrain while I was bowling on it because I like it. If you're I think it's a pretty good oil if you're one of the guys that really likes integrity and that the pins carry too easily, and you know,
God, here we go.
you know, the balls make too much angle down lane. I think it's perfect. I mean, make your lanes react like Guardian in one pass. Terrain. Make
Anyway, let's move on to something positive. So we've got the Weber Cup coming up. We've got we're going to 18 this year, 4 sessions. I'm a little sad. I was hoping we were going to 30. We were starting to we wore you down a little bit last year on catching up. It's going to be a little difficult if we give you a 7-0 head start like last year, only going to 18. So that's the first plan in the team room. Don't lose every game to start, I think that's the slogan we're going to put up on the wall. Win one. But yeah, we've got you've got 2 rookies.
2 rookies.
We've
Yes.
got 1. Your rookie's almost the oldest player in the tournament. So oldest rookie in tournament history. Yeah.
Yeah, probably so.
Might be the second oldest player in tournament history as well.
Oh, Mika bowled that not that long ago.
Mika wasn't a senior last time he bowled, and Doherty's what, 47?
5, 6, 4. I don't know.
But anyway, yeah. I'm Austin flying in. Says, does winning a game of bowling bet on for the appetizer make me professional? How does that work? Certainly doesn't make you an English major. I think that just makes you a hustler.
Yeah, probably just a hustler because if you actually won, the other person wasn't very good.
Oh, there you go. Parker Bone was the oldest rookie at the Weber Cup. There you go. Sorry, Tom. Sorry. See, now you're just old. You're not special. You're just old.
No pressure. No more firsts for Tom. Real quick, did I shine? No, I did not shine my X1. My X1 has quite a bit of surface on it, actually. There was one other that maybe that was it. Oh, this tough day leaving the league. Which one?
I mean,
it really. My ego's not tied up into whether I leave the 5-pin or not. It's really just about whether you know. There's a few things that have happened since I left the league once on TV.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Of the shots in your life you can take back, that probably wouldn't be in the top 100.
No. It actually, I mean, the one thing about the baby laugh is, unfortunately, it comes up a little bit more, but it actually makes me laugh too when I see it. So, you couldn't do it on purpose. So, go USA, like it. Insights on what I worked on with Baker. We went back and watched tape basically from 2012, I believe it was. That's kind of the bar where I'd been bowling pretty good. The Weber Cup had gone well. I think the World 10-pin maybe, so it might have been a year or two before that. Thailand, a couple of things back to back to back, and I was bowling pretty good. So I went in there before the World Series to work with him, and so we did a lot of video and just so I had a place to work back to. And I hadn't been able to get out there with COVID and everything else for a while, and we got on video, and it got pretty obvious pretty quickly what some of the problems were. And for me, it's almost always upper body tilt in position, and when that drops in, and when I get forward early or lazy off of it, then 50-year-old legs don't save you the way 30-year-old legs did. So I couldn't save enough shots to make it any good, and so I was not very. I didn't repeat at a very high level, and that was not a luxury I have, certainly on the regular tour. So,
what would fit in between a reality and a phase two. Axiom, Zen Master, maybe if it was drilled a little stronger than the phase two.
Right.
X1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, depending on how you wanted it, if you wanted it something that was strong, that that was a little more angular than the phase two in the reality, you could maybe go with a UFO alert. There's a few different options. Really depends on how you view fitting in between. Like for me, the reality, I can use that ball for quite a long time. So I wouldn't very often go from a reality to a phase two. Once my reality stopped working, I would probably go to something also asymmetrical. So for me, a UFO alert.
But your reality is also shined, or no?
Both. I have both.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was using a dull reality, I can't imagine it that often that I'd go from a dull reality to a phase two.
Fair.
Just in that gap. So it really depends on how you view gaps. Because I think a UFO alert is stronger than a phase two in some people's eyes, and in other people's eyes, it's not because it's not as early.
Right. So, if you're a little speed dominant, that doesn't pick up enough.
Yeah. Right. So it really, it's like I say, the balls that make the most sense in that gap for me are Axiom, Zen Master, and the X1. They're the three that would fit in there. But depending on how many balls you add, if you add a reality, just pick an X1 because I think that's probably fills the gap the closest to the middle. And a phase two. If you only had 6 balls, that would be a lot of smooth balls.
Yeah, true.
I don't think that that's too terrible a gap, to be honest, reality in phase two. But
no, that's probably how mine would line up. I mean, I'm using a Zen Master below that reality now, but instead of a phase two, but it's
yeah,
they're relatively the same gap. Mark Baker agreeing that 50-year-old legs don't save the same way. Dusty Hill trying to be funny, but if you want to see an evolution of game, go back and watch the '89 Shoot for the Stars and what I looked like when I was 19 versus, yeah, it didn't look the same.
Craig says, "Who has choice of oil pattern to start? It's a coin flip. It's one of the coin flips you want to lose."
Yeah, so you have choice in the last session. If
not even that, it's just the first session. You're not basing it off anything.
Right. You'd actually none of us really know, so it's not really an advantage to get the first one.
To be honest, when it was 5 sessions, the best way to have done it was actually that the first session was just like it was just decided out the hat. Mm-hmm. And then at least you had a point to move from, because who knows, like one year they like the medium patterns and we like the long patterns, and then the next year they kill us on the long and we do well on the medium. It's also relative to the lane, like, and whatever else.
Should be a little bit of more consistency this year from last year to this year.
Same lane, maybe?
I believe so, but yeah. What was my favorite 10K challenge? And Del Pal has the right answer. The one when he wins. Probably the Anthony Pepe one in Long Island. It was a place he probably should have beat me. The left-hander in that joint was a good bet. Had he had about 2 more years experience, he would have won. And but he gave me a chance and let me hang around a little longer than he should have. And then he had a lot of pressure with all his guys back there behind him on him. So
Dell says he's off for pool therapy. Okay, work it out. My phase 2 cracked. That sucks. I would go with the Zen Master, but I mean, another phase 2 probably can't go wrong either.
Agreed.
I hope not. Is there any movement possibility in getting future Web Cups to be televised like a PBA event? No, because Matchroom has a deal with DAZN for lots of things outside of bowling. So that's their broadcast partner in the US. So that's the way it's going to be. Someone says the left at Babylon is pretty soft.
Fact. right hooks really early. So
Mr. Jones says he's a rev dominant two-hander, and other balls in the rotation are Zen, Dark Code, IQ Tour, Phase 3, and Hustle Inc. Well, if you like the Zen, I guess maybe a Zen Master. What is the thought process when choosing who bowls at the Weber Cup? Well, I guess Chris is better to answer that one because he actually picks who bowls at the Weber Cup.
yeah, I mean, it goes into a lot of things because talent, who bowls best, like a match play bowler. Simonson is a great match play bowler. Bowled a lot of action in his life. The top two guys are automatically picked by points. This year we went with more chalk and just went down the line with points. Obviously, some difficult decisions because there's a lot of great, there's a lot of great players. Prather, Jacob, EJ, there's a lot of guys that first world problems picking between some of those guys.
It was a lot easier for Dom. We just picked the 5 people who actually bowled this year.
Yeah. Well, minus Sloan, but
yeah. So that was kind of how it ended up for us. It's always been a little more challenging for us, and the bigger the teams get, the worse it gets for us, obviously, because that dilutes our top 2 guys more. Dom maybe hasn't been bowling as well as he would have liked the last 2 years, but like in general, Dom and Jesper are both top 10, 15 players. Then, the other 2 guys on the team, we can kind of close the gap up a little bit. Once they become less than half the team, then it becomes a little more challenging for us. I do think for integrity, 5-man makes more sense. That doesn't mean that it makes more sense for us financially. But it is what it is. And we have to come together as a team and embrace that synergy and pull on the crowd to not cheer the Americans on louder than they cheer for us. But yeah, it'll be good. We haven't had a real Weber Cup in England for 3 years. So I'm hoping that the fans are going to be ready to go, because we, of course, went to the US in 2020 and we were in England. Sorry, 2019. 2020, we were in England, but there was no fans. So I'm looking forward to it. Brian, look, I'm the biggest Storm guy there is, right? But Dom's won a lot of big tournaments since he left. So he does have a US Open since he left. I don't necessarily think that that's... let me rephrase that. I know that that's not necessarily the reason why. So there are plenty of, like, Tom Doherty's a good example. There are plenty of good guys who are using other brands who are being successful. And Dom will be the first to tell you that that's not the reason that he's not doing as well as he would have liked. Linda says, can't wait until it comes back to the US. Other things we have planned. What, you're going to get an actual eagle? Thing will peck Mark's head to death with him going, get ya! Oh, dear. So let me know, guys, let us know in the comments. What do you guys want to see from the product show this month? We're obviously going to be featuring the hyped. I don't know how to say hyped. How do you say hyped plural?
Hyped solid and hyped pearl?
No, hyped hybrid and hyped pearl.
Hyped hybrid and hyped pearl.
So we've got those 2, and we've got the trend 2. I'm not really sure. We might be able to. I think that's what I think we're going to do. I think we're going to figure out a way to get me and Chris together to do a trend 2 challenge match, because trend 2 is obviously going to be the one that everybody wants to see, I believe. We might do that the day before the Monster tournament. Just after we get back, I might come on the Friday. and we'll try and get that together. We've got new stuff. We've got actual cameras, and I think that I might invest in a different microphone so that me and Chris can both be mic'd up, and you can hear us, chirping a little bit at each other. I think that might be quite amusing. Every time we get 9, we'll blame Belmo. And Belmo will then tell us that we're lucky we got 9.
Yeah, I mean that's probably fair. That's probably fair. Yes, this was an announcement. I forgot to say that there's a new rule that collegiate players on collegiate teams can now roll in PBA events and cash more than twice. The idea behind it being that it's not their fault that they can't join, or and so they're allowed to bowl. They still have to pay non-member fees, which is more than the membership would be, generally speaking. They bowl a few events a year, so yeah, I don't mind the rule at all. Youth bowlers have been pretty much been able to do that anyway. As long as the money goes to smart, then they could bowl multiple events anyway, or multiple, more than 2 cashes anyway. So it kind of clears up a little obstacle, I guess, for guys so instead of going to bowl handicap sweeper tournaments in places, they can go bowl regionals and be a part of that. So
yeah, it's just another excuse for Ryan to bowl more events and beat Chris, so I'm all for it.
Coming soon.
Can you compare Trend 2 with the original? No, I can't, because I've thrown about 9 shots. I kind of felt bad because I was taking my son to a doctor's appointment, so I asked my dad to drill the Trend 2 for me while I was out, and I threw it about 3 shots in league last night. So I kind of feel bad that I got him to do that, to drill it for me so I could get to use it, and then didn't use it at all. So that was a bit awkward, but it seems to be stronger, is about the only thing I've seen. It seems to be stronger down the lane as well. For me, the trend was very smooth. It wasn't particularly one of my favorites. When I first used it at the PBA League, it was quite close to the Axiom Pearl on what we were bowling on. The more I've used it, the more I feel like it's kind of similar to the Axiom Pearl, except weaker. So it just isn't as useful for me as the Axiom Pearl. It's kind of a niche-y ball, I think, the trend.
Yeah, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought for R2S, I thought it would be a little cleaner, a little flippier. For whatever reason, it was a little earlier than anticipated and a little smoother than what I would have preferred. And so I think it sounds like, and that's Jason's feedback, is that it is both stronger and a little more continuous on that end. And so, but we will let you know what we see.
Love firing in. To be fair, if Ryan is beating Chris, he'll be beating you as well. No. Because the times that Ryan's going to beat Chris are when they're a little softer. That's kind of my wheelhouse. Kind of. And I'm okay with it.
Much respect to Stu for not bashing other brands when given the opportunity.
I'm not saying I'm not above it.
But we at least attempt the high road on occasion. So if they named a ball after you, what would you name your ball?
8 tap. I don't know. Maybe 6 back, 3 across, 1 left standing. Oh man,
Uh,
he's really been thinking about this. Call it the beefcake hybrid with the offset beef stew core.
and then for those people of a certain age, as they say, when he doesn't strike, it would be where's the beef. So, uh,
Yeah, yeah. Oh
I have
well.
to be old to have seen that commercial. So, uh,
Okay, well, I think we can. I think we can wrap it up today, Chris.
yeah, I guess the next thing is to tease what we have coming up on Thursday, and we are going to come back with a Weber Cup preview, breakdown, analysis, and possible roasting by a couple of independent analysts.
Yeah,
Well, at least one, and possibly two.
yeah. I'm sure I'll be able to. As long as Frankie isn't leaving the country, I'm sure I'll be able to convince Frankie to come on. He loves coming on and slipping the knife straight into your back.
And yeah, and O'Neill will be there as well, a veteran of the event. And
he's a little less subtle.
Yeah, and his wit has gotten a little sharper, a little edgier over the years. So
he's definitely better on Twitter than he is face to face. But hopefully, there's enough of a delay for him, or Frankie, comes in a little faster that he'll give Bill a chance to warm up his best lines. It's one of the funniest things ever that I, from my point of view, that Bill said was one time he was there and me and Belmore were going back and forth, and Bill's like, about 5 minutes later, he goes, "Damn it, I had a great one. Why couldn't I have been on Twitter so I would have had time to compose it?" Oh, shit. So that was that was a good deal. So yeah, it should be fun. I'm sure they'll bring a unique perspective to what it is. I'm probably going to say a lot of times out loud, we don't bowl on paper. Once we get on the Weber Cup lane, the rankings are out the window. Any other bullshit cliche I can come up with to come up with a reason why a team that's won about $2 million is going to lose to a team that's won about, well, Jespers plus a little. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened, and we're going to fly in under the radar.
Alan Riley finally joining on time as usual. Sure hope you didn't miss anything major. First question though, hey, did you beat Chris in league last night? No. James Franklin, thanks. I appreciate you guys coming in, tuning in, and we'll come in. We'll come in a little hot on Thursday. I think this will be an entertaining show. More guests and certainly some material for fodder. So
yeah, it's going to be a good time. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you. We will see you Thursday.
Yep. And until then, if you would, please support the sponsors that support us. Storm, Rotogrip, Niner Global, Vikes, Coolwick, 3G Shoes, Bowler's Mark, Mark Baker Bowling, Fire Lake Bowling Center, Platinum Ford, and Lightning Strikes.
And True Grit Coatings.
True Grit Coatings. Thanks, James Franklin. I need to update my banner. Yep. My bad. I gotcha. True Grit Coatings. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.
See you later.